Oh, yes. OHIO. We welcome you again. It is raining here in the beautiful state of Columbus, Ohio. Time for a change 295 by your YouTube leader and creator of the page, Michael K. Wilson. We are here to discuss the playoff predictions for January, and we're going to talk about the 12 teams that will make the playoff push and being crowned the 2025 national champions. As I look into these predictions here, we're going to first start with our guy Jay that's on the call, and also Mike that will go after him. We will go ahead and talk about the reason why these teams should be in the playoff, what is expected with these teams to be in the playoff. We will not play any favorites. We will keep it real. So let's talk about it. Jay, we'll start with you. You're looking at 12 teams that will make the postseason and the national championship playoff push. We'll start with you. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so definitely Georgia Bulldogs number one. I would say I would put OSU as the number three rank. Maybe even Oregon as the number four rank. And I would probably bump Texas up to the number two spot. Bama's been pretty consistent, but again, they're top five. I don't see them getting over that hump. They haven't been doing that for the past couple of years. The one that actually shocks me is Michigan's still in the top 10. They're ranked number nine, at least at this moment in time. Um, I'm not sure what that is based on with Jim Harbaugh leaving, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really don't see them actually making it into the playoffs. And like you said, if it's top 10, I don't see Michigan being a member of the top 10. I see Florida State being more of a member of the top 10. Well, they are ranked number 10, but more so number nine over Michigan, definitely. I just know my team is not making it to the playoffs as much as I love them. The Tar Heels, I'm sorry. It's just, I don't see that happening. In fact, they dropped out of the top 25, like I want to say in the last three games of their season. So, yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, but I wouldn't say that's probably my top 10. I mean, this looks relatively from what I see on the most recent.
Jay is 12, not 10 is 12 teams.
Is it 12?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay. So everything else looks pretty reasonable, though.
so you say OSU, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Florida State, UNC. That's six. You got six more.
I got six more.
Yeah, you just gave six. OSU, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Florida
Well,
State.
Notre Dame, I mean, everything else looks consistent. Like I said, well, let's put Notre Dame at number six rather than number seven, how they have it projected. Number eight would probably be Penn State. Number seven would be Penn State. Ole Miss would probably be where Penn State is at number eight. Florida State would definitely be number nine. Michigan would probably be at number 10. And I'm not sure about Missouri or Utah. I do notice that Clemson is at the number 14 spot already. And I don't know. I feel like probably LSU probably would be over Clemson at this point. So let's put them at a number 11. And then maybe number 12 would be Utah. So that's just my personal intake. But again, I've yet to see the season hasn't started yet, but based on projections, for example, you can take a look at OSU's 2023 stats as a team. Let's see if I can pull it up. 269.1 in passing yards. They were ranked number 31 for that. 138.8 average in rushing yards. So they ranked number 88th for that. Points for 30.5 is number 47th ranking, as well as their points against the other teams, 11.0. So, I mean, I don't want to get into their full team stats, but those are some of their main highlights from what I can tell so far.
Okay, so
And they're starting. Is he from Kansas State? They're starting the QB transfer Howard as a QB. Is that what I'm reading right now?
You said who? You said who?
Will Howard is starting as their QB at OSU, transferring from Kansas State.
Oh, you're talking about Ohio State. Okay, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest question mark for Ohio State is the quarterback issue. That's like,
Mhm.
well, coming into the preseason. But Jay, you said so basically, Jay, to confirm this, whatever you said, OSU, Georgia, Oregon. It don't have to be in any particular order. It's just 12 teams. So you said,
Honestly, I still rank Georgia Bulldogs as number one. I mean, they have been relatively consistent as being one of the top contenders for the last 3 years. Last year I mean, as you would say, it would be somewhat fixed. But honestly, I think it's just that they didn't. I mean, it's just the better team won, unfortunately.
so you
So
don't think Alabama's gonna make the top 12?
as much as I would, oh no, they're definitely in the top 12.
Okay.
They're ranked number five. They're still ranked number five in my book.
Okay, so we got so you have OSU, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Florida State, UNC, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan, LSU, Alabama. You have one more to to make.
LSU. You said Alabama. Yeah, yeah. I thought I ranked. Did I say Utah?
Oh yeah. You did say Utah. Yeah, you did
Yeah,
say
I
Utah.
did say Utah. I thought I said Utah.
Okay, so it's your 12 team. Now I'm writing this down for all of us. So whenever it comes time, we can reflect and say, okay, well, this is what this, and we'll probably do a reflection video in December off of this video. So probably part two to this video, but this is like a part one. So but my teams that's gonna make the top 12. It's no particular order. I'm looking at it by conference as far as Big Ten, SEC, ACC, blah blah, so forth and so on. I'm gonna say Oregon's gonna make it. I believe Oregon will make it because obviously they got something to prove this season, and they're ranked number 3, I believe, right now. Obviously Georgia's gonna make it. That's not even a question. I believe Alabama. It'll be a disgrace if Alabama don't make it because they have such a big fan base. So I believe Alabama's going to make it. Going by conference, LSU kind of there. It's hard to like put your money on LSU because you never know what type of situation it's going to be with them. But I will say I feel confident that LSU will make it. Texas definitely will make it because they just went to the SEC. So I'm thinking that in hindsight, this is going to be a Big Ten versus a SEC. It's going to be another, continuation of the last couple of years. Like who's the top conference? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to reign supreme? Michigan reigned supreme last year. So I'm going to put Michigan inside the top 12 because they got a brother as a coach. You know what I'm saying? This is his first season. So his feet is gonna be towards the fire if Michigan don't make, even though I think they got sanctions or something like that, I think, but I think Michigan will make it if they're allowed to make it into the playoffs. I think Notre Dame will make it. They got another, brother as a coach, you know what I'm saying? They have a lot of expectations at Notre Dame. So far I'm at 7. I'm gonna say obviously I'm a Florida State fan, so FSU will make it because the first week of the season, they got the Labor Day game on the second. I forgot who they played, but they're playing on the second, and then they're opening up this Thursday on the 24th, I believe. Like I forgot who they played, but they got like 2 games or whatever. This has never been seen before like that. So FSU, I want to put Miami in there, but I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be a close call with them, but I'm gonna pick. Oh, of course, Ohio State. It's the school we went to, so Ohio State's gonna make it. So I'm at number 9. Uh, who else out of the Big Ten is gonna make it? So far we have OSU, Oregon is in the Big Ten, Michigan is in the Big Ten. What other? I think Penn State. I'm going Penn State. I think Penn
You're
State's
going
going
with
to make
Penn
it.
State?
Huh?
I said you're going with Penn State. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, because Jay, I'm looking at it. I'm in my mind. I'm going like SEC, Big Ten, as far as like the two powerhouses. Because when you look at the
Right.
first week, most of the games this week that's coming up are going to be Big Ten teams. You know, they're not the cream of the crop, but they're still Big Ten teams. So I'm gonna give Penn State the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say I don't see Washington State. I think Washington State last year they finished number 2. I don't see them getting that far this year. I would like them to, but the reality is, I feel like Penn State has always been that team that's looking to kind of transition in the hierarchy in the Big Ten. So I'm gonna go with Penn State. As far as ACC, FSU is probably gonna leave, and Clemson probably is gonna leave the ACC next season. It's been a rumor, but I would say Clemson will make it because Clemson's had failure last year and the year before. So I think Clemson. I think Clemson's gonna get it right this year. I think they're gonna make it in. So um I would say Oklahoma because Oklahoma's a traditional power. So I'm gonna go with Oklahoma. And let me look at the list one more time before I hit my. I feel like I'm at the voting poll. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to, we're at the election or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let me take a quick look, real quick, of the top 25 before I kind of like submit my vote. Yeah, Ole Miss. I don't think they're gonna make it. I went to the campus of Missouri last year when I was back in the Midwest or whatever. I was on campus. I was supposed to take pictures and everything, but I don't think they're gonna make it. I would like them to make it. Also, Utah. I just don't know. Utah hasn't really been too impressive. Tennessee, I would like for them to make it, but I don't know. Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Texas A&M. They're inconsistent. Arizona, sometime-ish. Oh, USC is ranked 25th, I think. That's a
Yeah.
Big Ten. That's a Big Ten school now. So I just don't know about them. They're still trying to like improve their situation or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go with. I think that's good enough. I think I think that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Oregon, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Texas, Michigan, Notre Dame, FSU, OSU, Ohio State, Penn State, Clemson, and Oklahoma. So that's my 12 teams. So the ball's on you, Aaron.
Yeah, of course it's on me. As you can see it, I'm gonna be what you call not a fan favorite, but I'm gonna be impartial on this here. I like with the new coach and the new focus, I like Alabama at number 1. I know people are gonna think like, oh well, I mean Alabama, you got Milroy coming back, man. Milroy has something to prove. I would like to see Georgia at number 2. Georgia right now, they have something to prove after winning last year. They or did they win last year? No, it was
Not
Michigan
it.
that won last year.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is that Georgia, they're going to be playing angry. I like to see Oregon at number 3. They have something to prove. They still have a good score, and they're in the Big Ten. Right now, it's going to be between them, Washington, and Ohio State, which I like Washington at an even number 4. Um, as far as what they have to bring back to the table. 5, I would say we go ahead and put Texas in there. Texas, they have what's his face coming back. The quarterback, and I forgot his name. But he right now has a lot to prove after they came this close of making it last year into the championship. I like to see Ohio State at number 6. Howard and Judkins, they're going to make some noise, but I don't think. I'm sorry, this may be Ryan Day's last season. It's going to be Ryan Day's last season because he doesn't have that mentality to coach talent like that, and it's been proven for the last couple years. I like to see Ole Miss at number 7. I like to see, and I'm not sure why, but I think Ole Miss just has the talent and a conference. It seems that they have a whole good hold of it. I like to see Michigan at number 8. The new guy out of the guy that's name that starts with the quarterback. I heard he's doing big things. I like to see FSU at number 9. That they have the talent to do something in the ACC. To finish it off, Clemson number 10. And then I would like to see. I would say I would put Penn State at number 11. It's just not there for them. And I think Drew Aller or Lord, the quarterback, I don't think he has the weapons that he used to have around him. Then number 12, I will finalize it with, and this is going to surprise y'all, I would like to see USC at number 12. Big Ten strong this year. They've been strong. They have the weapons and the powerhouses now. It's gonna be a uphill battle for Ohio State to overcome. So simple enough. That's how I would top out my final 12, my first 12 for the tournament.
So you're saying that this will be another Big Ten year where the Big Ten will
Dominate.
their margin over the SEC.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think with the teams moving to the Big Ten, and then I think at some point the streak will end. Streaks end. Where Ohio State used to be the dominant powerhouse, which is they're not anymore. Not you get beat by that many times in Michigan. That turns out to be it turns out to be a red flag. It turns out to be a red flag. I think this may be the last year for the coach. I think Chip Kelly's going to have a good offensive weapon around having the team do the best in their ability. However, I just think that even with having the team around them and the offense, what are you gonna do about defense? So that's how I look at it.
Okay, well, I mean, we could make a friendly wager in December. Whoever gets the highest score, somehow we could compensate that person. Or we could give a Christmas gift or whatever of some type, to
Some
ever.
cologne. Hey, that cologne was off the chain though, bro. I must say.
OSU cologne or whatever. Ohio State cologne.
That Tommy Bahamas or whatever that was called. Yeah. Figure something
we'll
out.
see. Or we'll see who how this works out, what I'm saying? Because like I said, this is gonna be a great season. And I mean
It's gonna be a sad season too for Day. They're not gonna be singing "Oh Happy Day," I tell you.
Well, I think the Oregon game, I feel like either people are gonna praise him after when is the game? I think the game's in October, the
Something like that, yeah.
Oregon game. So I think the Oregon game is either I think people are gonna back him, but if he loses that game, then that's gonna start the whole snowball effect that he's gotta go. If he wins, then he's gonna be on the road.
Because you can't lose to Michigan.
So
you can't lose
the
to Michigan
Oregon
at
game
home.
they gotta. That's gonna be the first step, whatever. I mean, he's a good guy, man. I really look at him, and I don't know him personally. I never.
But good guys finish last, Mike.
Nah,
they
but
finished it.
I do believe when you put positive energy in the atmosphere, it comes back. So I think that, like I said, he's got an all-star cast. So I don't see how he could mess this one up, whatever. But God's in control at the end of the day. So
Yeah, God is in control. Go ahead, Pastor Mike. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about one of your sermons. Like because as much as I want to look at this sermon, man, I mean,
How do you guys feel about the strength of some of these colleges? Their schedules are concerned for the upcoming season before going into the playoffs. Because I'm looking at OSU's schedule right now. The first game is against the Akron Zippers. All right, and then it's Western Michigan, and then the
oh
third
Lord, have
game
mercy.
is Marshall. Uh, the fourth
The
game looks
same
like
schedule that they have all the time,
every
every
single time for the most
year.
part.
They play
Yeah,
these Division 10 schools. Jesus,
yeah.
come on,
So
man.
that's another thing I wanted you guys to consider is though, like, I don't know how OSU is ranked number two, or at least as far as like how we project for them to be number two. I mean,
Right.
maybe starting out, but in the playoffs, like I said, I feel like they might even be either be number three or number four. But yeah,
well,
this
Right.
is
Jay, the thing is, you have to look at it, and I know what you mean, like strength of schedule. That's like 1/4 of the tally. Like they look at recruits. They have this Ohio State has this guy from Hollywood, Florida. He's like supposed to be just as good as Harris Jr. from last year. So they got a guy
Hmm.
who is potentially like I think he's 18 or 19. He's 6'3". He's supposed to be the best receiver in the country. So they look at like the recruits that are coming in, and then they factor in the schedule as well. But it's more so the recruiting power of the coaches and stuff like that come in. So that's how they get the preseason tally. So
Hmm.
I just wanted to know what everybody's opinions were on that one. I mean, that's just basically the whole, background of that whole question. I mean, you take a look at Oregon's schedule.
honestly,
Like,
man, I haven't even really looked at everybody's schedule, but that's something that's gonna kind of be figured out once week one comes, like this week that's coming up. Everybody's gonna be looking at everybody's schedule. So maybe that's a video we could do about college
yeah,
strength of schedule and then kind of go.
definitely.
But
I
usually,
feel like Oregon's is more competitive, though. Look, I mean, I'm looking at Oregon's schedule right now. It definitely looks like it's definitely more competitive. They're going against Idaho for game one. Number two is Boise State. Number three is Oregon State. Number four is UCLA. Number five, Michigan State. Number six, Ohio State. Seven is Purdue. Eight is Illinois. Nine is Michigan. 10 is Maryland. 11 is Wisconsin. And 12 is Washington. I don't know, but it looks like it's a little bit more competitive than what I've seen at OSU. But however, I do want to argue. I think OSU's schedule had consists of like you guys said, maybe 8 Big 10 teams. Am I reading that right?
I mean, I will say this, Jay. The SEC usually has the SEC usually has the tougher schedule. That's why they always have like when the season is over, they've been tested throughout the season. So when it comes down to December, they're ready. They're in the top peak. Everybody on the team is ready to go for it. You know what I mean? So that's why straight to schedule SEC always was favored. You know what I mean? Because they do have well years past they had the strongest schedules or they had the toughest schedules. So it would just be like last man standing basically. Whoever could win out. That's how Alabama made it in a few years. Like they just straight the schedule. So usually SEC, they always have a tough schedule. So, but I'm gonna have my eye on Miami. Miami's got a good team coming in this season, but they just make so many mistakes where they drop the ball. Like they be looking like something's gonna go off, and then they just fumble the bag. So, but we got 4 minutes left, Jay and Aaron.
Mike,
So,
can you say this, man? And I don't mean to interrupt. Isn't Miami like the Dallas Cowboys of college football?
well,
I
it's
mean,
yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I mean, basically, the thing is, like, they're trying to get back to, like last season, it was signs of that they were gonna get back, but Florida's tough, man. We all know, like, you got FSU,
Hmm.
Miami, then you got UF. We haven't even heard about Florida, as far as like Florida at one point, with Tim Tebow, we Ohio State people know about that, you know what I mean? So now
Oh, Tebow
you got
mania.
you got UCF, Central Florida, you know what I mean? They was undefeated a few seasons in a row, like consecutive seasons. UCF was, and then you got USF. So Florida
Hmm.
is like, it's tough, man. It's hard. Like the power shifts
Hmm.
every so many years on what, like Florida State's been called for like a decade. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but hopefully, like I said, hopefully Miami. I heard they got some really fast guys and they got a lot of top recruits. So I'm gonna have my eye. I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on in Florida, and of course, we're gonna keep our eyes to Ohio. And this is time for change, man. It's gonna be the hottest channel on YouTube for sports, and then we're just gonna let the people decide. So, Jay, you got anything to say?
Negative, sir. I'm just ready for the football season to kick off, and I want to watch High Street be like flooded with scarlet and gray. Excuse me. It's just gonna just like be a whole sea of it, and try to be backed up, and yeah, see what the outcomes are going to be and what all the projections are. So I really do still want to see how my Tar Heels are going to be doing as well. I mean, even though I don't want to say I don't have faith in them, but hopefully they do much better than they did last year at, beginning, like I want to say midway during the season or midway through the season. So that's all I have to say. I'm looking
They'll
forward to
make
my
a
Tar.
they'll make a bowl game. I'm pretty sure. I'm confident enough to say they're gonna make a bowl game. I think they'll make a bowl game.
Yeah, they'll make a bowl game. They won't win the bowl
Well, I was
game.
saying
They're
that
good at
they'll make the
basketball.
bowl game. They'll make the bowl game to win the bowl game. That's what I was kind of going with that. You know what I mean? But I think they're gonna do better than Duke. Whatever. I think that.
Oh, they'll definitely do better than Duke. Yeah.
I think.
Now, will they do better than the Wolfpack? I don't think so after last year. I mean, the Wolfpack are, uh, I want to say justifiably, in the right position to be in the top 25 at least. It is well justified. And I can't really object. I have no objections against it. I can't argue against that, at least for this moment in time. All I can say is go Heels. Let's try to turn this whole thing around for this upcoming year, and hopefully even let's shock the world. Let's even make the top four tournament. Let's make the tournament. You know. So yeah, those are my projections. I mean, they did really good starting out. They were in the top 10. Hopefully they can take it to the next level and even reach the top 5 and maybe even just stay in the top 5. So it's
Right.
all about hunger. So yeah.
All right, Aaron.
But
Aaron, we got about 30 seconds. You got anything left to say, Aaron, before we run out of time?
Man, let's see if we sing "Oh Happy Day" in
OH.
January. Happy Day.
happy.
Man, that's all I gotta say, man. So just pray.
All right,
Right.
guys. All right, guys.
All
Well,
right.
hey, this is a really good Zoom call, and we're gonna end this off, and we'll be back to give the people more of how did Puff did they say, giving you what you need.